This is Daniel with St. Paul's Free University here, and I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to make a post on your WordPress blog. So to start with, you're going to need to go to your .com. The way I recommend doing that is just typing in your .com into the address bar. So Open Off Grid is an example site I'm going to use to show you, .com, then / and then wp-admin. So I'm going to show you how to not type this in every time. But for now, the first time you're going to have to do that, hit enter, and it should take you to the login page for your website, like we got there. Now it's possible in some web browsers that you type that in and you instead get a Google search or a search from another search engine. This does not look like our website, and in fact we didn't find the page I was looking for. Even if you did find it down here, it wouldn't take you in the login page. So what you have to do in that case is type in http://, then your .com/wp-admin, hit enter. This once again will take you to the site, and it should avoid any searching that might get done by different web browsers. So now you're here. Hopefully you remember your username or email that you used to create this, or whoever created the site used to create the site for you. They should have sent it to you, and the password. If you forget your password, but you know your username or email, you can hit lost your password. It'll ask you for your username or email again, and then once you give it that, it will send you an email to the email that's connected to this account with instructions to get into the site and change your password. If that doesn't work for you and you're an SPFU person, you can contact one of us, either me or Dave, or whoever else is hosting your site at that particular time, and they should be able to get into it for you. But if you're somebody else that's not with SPFU, then you're going to have to figure out how your host deals with that. But for now, I know my name and my password, so I'm going to click Login, and this should take us directly to our website dashboard. So WordPress, this dashboard is a secret area in your site that only people with login credentials are allowed to see, and it allows you to control every aspect of your site. So there's a ton of stuff that you could do in here. Today, we're just going to go with writing a new post. So to do that, hit up here where it says plus and then new. Just click on that. Don't worry about this drop down. It gives you a lot of other options, but you don't need that. Just click directly on new. So to get started, you're going to want to either copy in or write your blog title, sort of this blog post. So, this is my new, this is my new post. Great. Then we're going to click down here in this area and start editing. This is where all the text of your post should go. So if you've written something externally, you can just copy paste it in here at this time. Maybe you're going to write directly into this, which is what I tend to do. Or you've already copy pasted something, but you want to edit it. How do you change what it looks like, and how do you change the formatting of it? I'm going to show you that right now. First of all, your first paragraph should be a paragraph, not a heading or anything else I'm going to show you. It can have bold text if you want to do something like that, which I'll show you how to do. But this is very important because this text is shown all over the web when people link to this article. So on your blog, for one, if you link to this page from Facebook, so you share it with your Facebook friends, you send it on, people send it on Messenger, even very frequently on Google, it will show the text of this first paragraph and the first paragraph only as a preview of what this page is about. So make it enticing, make it well written, and just know that this will be seen a lot more than any of the rest of the page. After that, you can start writing. So if you hit enter, you're in a new paragraph. So my second, and so forth. Now let's say you have different sections of your blog post, and it's a good practice to break up a long blog. There shouldn't be just a wall of text. It makes it difficult for people to want to read and to skim through if they just want to skim through. So to do that, I'm going to start with typing whatever the heading should be. So my heading here, and then where it says paragraph here, you can click on that anywhere and choose a heading. Do not choose heading level 1. The recommendation now is to choose heading level 2 to start with. So that would be top level heading. So if you had another, some more text, my text here, enter, and then another heading. Then go up to paragraph, choose heading 2, perfect. If you want to have like a hierarchical heading levels, which I don't do too often, but is occasionally helpful. Like let's say this was, how to make, sandwiches, let's say, right? And then I wanted to talk about, PB&J, and I wanted to have a section on, I don't know, ham, right? And I want some text here, so about how to make PB&J and so forth. And then, more text here. It might be nice to have a subheading. So all of these are sandwiches, right? But if you want a heading that is a sandwich or whatever this heading is, and is below it, how Google sees it and how, third-party text-to-speech readers see it, and all the robots that might look at the site, as well as individuals, choose a lower level heading. So for this one, I would choose heading 3. Once again, heading 3. And if you had subheadings, you could do that at heading level 4 or 5 or 6. I generally don't use more than 2, heading level 2 and then heading level 3, but those are options if you want to do that. Now let's say you had a part of the text that's particularly important, and this is good practice as well, is to bold and italicize things that, bold and or italicize things that are helpful for the reader so that they can skip through and so that it makes the text look less imposing. So let's say, this is also worth knowing. And we can highlight that section and then hit the B to make it bold. We can also like italicize this PB and J here if we want that. Or if we want how to be really emphasized, we can bold and italicize it. But let's say we also come back later and we say, I don't like this. You can highlight that again, click, you'll see B and I are now selected in, and if you click those again, it'll undo that. Another thing that you should be using in your blog posts is lists. So let's say we want to talk about, peanut butter is something we would use here, bread, jelly, if I spell that correctly. And so that's a list of items we want to buy, or a list of procedures that we want to do. Then what you would do to make that a list is actually just highlight all of these lines and choose this icon here, which is like 3 circles and 3 lines, and that makes it a bulleted list. Once again, this helps computers know what's going on, so it helps your website rank better, and it helps people see what's going on in multiple different viewing circumstances, because what looks good on one screen doesn't necessarily look good on the next, but formatting it like this makes it more likely to look good. If you have a numbered list of items, so like step 1, step 2, step 3, or something like that, or like a order list where it's like number 1 best place, number 2 best place, you can use this one, which is numbered list, and it makes it a square in this preview, but in the real website it should make it number 1, number 2, number 3, and so forth. Also, if you have a quote, well, before I do that, actually, if you're continuing to type and you press enter in a bulleted bullet list or a numbered list, it'll make a new numbered item for you, so you can continue typing. So I don't know what else would be in here, but pickle. Great, so that's good. Now I hit enter again. Oh, there's another item. What do I do? Well, if you want to get out of the list, you just hit enter again, and you can start typing. So more text here. So let's say that I want to put in a quote now, like a big paragraph that I pulled from another website. So let's actually just look at PB and J. Or this could be even something that you, a photo you took yourself or something you downloaded. Let's say I want this image. So I'm going to click on that image, and I like this, so I'm going to right click on it and save image as. Perfect. So I'm going to call this PBJ, and it's going to go to my download. So I'm going to hit save. And in Firefox here, it actually shows it up here, which makes it even easier. So then what I do is go back to this page, click Add Media. And by default, it's going to show you any media that anybody has already uploaded to your site. Yours will probably be blank if you're just beginning to start writing, but as you add pictures, they will go here. So if you've already uploaded a picture, there's no reason to upload it again. You can just choose the one here. But we've got a new image, so I'm going to click Upload Files, and then I'm going to go to my downloads and drag that file right over it. When it turns blue, that's a good sign, and we can see it's uploaded the image. And then I can choose to put alt text. We'll go into this a lot more in SEO portions of our tutorials, but for now I'm just going to, PB and J sand, which, perfect. Then hit insert into a post. Well, actually, before we do that, one thing to notice is we can choose the size here. So if you want, you want a small image, you go to thumbnail. This is a pretty small image already, so the option it chose for full size is fine. But if you insert an image and it's gigantic, you could have avoided that by doing this, but I'll try to fix that if you get something in there it's just too big. But for now, we'll click Insert Post. Here it is. So this image is now where your cursor was. Let's say you didn't get it quite the right spot. You can just click and drag it. So let's say we want it down here. Now it's down there. Actually, I wanted it up here, so drag it up there. Perfect. If you want the text to flow around it, you can just click on the image itself. It gives you this pop-up. You can make it go to the left of the text, center like it was, to the right of the text, or no alignment, which is basically centered. If you want to edit the picture, like let's say it was too big, what you do is click this little pencil symbol, and you can click here on size, and it'll give you a whole list of sizes depending on how big it was. This one is already small, so I'm just leave it like that. But if you had a bigger image, you might have options like medium size, large, full size. So you would just go down 1 or 2 until it's the right size for your page. All right, last text thing that we would want to do is actually add links. So let's say there's a really cool article, so like this is a really cool article you should read. What we would do is highlight the section we want to be clickable and click this link symbol up here, which is like some chains, some links in a chain. And so now we would put in the URL. If you know what the URL is, fine. Otherwise, let's say we're looking around to a site and we want to go, like, let's go to this Wikipedia article. And oh, here's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I like this article. I want people to read it. So what I do is click up here and make sure all of the text is highlighted, every bit of it. You can use Control-A if it doesn't highlight it automatically, or Command-A if you're on Mac, and then Control-C or Command-C to copy it. Now go back here. Your cursor is already in this if it's being shown, so you can just Control or Command-V, and then that pastes it in there and hit Enter, and now we have a link to Wikipedia. So if you click on the link in here, it actually just shows you this pop-up, allows you to edit it. So if you wanted to change the link, you could hit this pencil symbol again, or if you just didn't want the link at all, you could hit this remove link symbol, which is like a breaking chain. But let's double check that we link to the right spot. So how do we do that? We go up to the top right here and click Preview. And what this is going to actually do is show you the page as if it were published. Right now, nobody can read this except for you, but we can scroll down to my text here and then click on this link and see where it goes. And indeed, it did go to Wikipedia, so we did it right. So I can close that tab and go back to the editing tab. Perfect. Now, linking outside of the article is all right, but one thing you really want to do is have links to other articles you've written. That really helps your website grow because people are going to be reading more and more of your articles. So whenever it's appropriate on your site, you already wrote something relevant to what you're talking about, go and put a link in there. So how do you do that? Well, the same way. So let's get rid of this link actually. Let's highlight this again and click Link, Insert Link, and it gives you the same pop-up as before. And this time, instead of putting the full URL in there, what you can do is actually search through the articles on your site. So if I had a sandwich, article that I want to put here, it would show it there. Now I don't have any sandwich articles on the site. I don't have anything except for the Hello World article. So if I type hello, there's my Hello World article. So this actually searches through the whole, the text of the article and shows you things that I think might be relevant. And so hello is relevant to the search, so I'll click on that hello and actually filled out the full URL of the link. So I don't have to go to the article, I don't have to find anything like that, it just makes it a little bit quicker. So now I'll press enter, and there we go. That link goes to the Hello World article that is already on my site. Perfect. So that is pretty much everything you'd want to do to edit your page. So let's say that we've continued writing and we're done, and we look down here at the word count. And right now it's only 49, but theoretically you're at 500 or more and you're ready to publish your post. What do you do? Okay, well, first thing you want to do is double check the metadata. So we go over here to the right and we make sure that we've assigned it correctly to a category. So for this, I'm going to put it in the sandwich category, which I've already created by just clicking on that box. If you don't have a category already created for this and you want to make a new one, hit add new category, and we can, PB&J, something like that. Hit enter. Now it's there. It's in 2 categories. If you want to get rid of that, you can click it again, gone, so on and so forth. Perfect. Tags are also another way that you can categorize these. I don't go too crazy with categories and tags. I usually just choose one category and maybe put a few relevant tags. We'll go into this more probably in the SEO section as well, but just mechanically how to do it. Let's say, we wanted to talk about, I don't know, we talked about peanut butter in this. We talked about bread, put commas between each thing. And, let's say jelly, right? So now we hit enter. It added 3 tags, peanut butter, bread, and jelly. Now let's say we forgot one, we want to put ham. Okay, just type ham, press enter. There we go, we add another one. Now let's say we didn't really want to put bread. You can just click on this X, bread's gone. Easy enough. Last thing is to choose an image, which is our featured image. So what a featured image is it shows up at the top of your blog post. It shows up differently depending on your theme, but it will be near the top of every blog post, and it will be shown next to the title throughout your blog whenever there's a link to it. Let's say on a blog roll page or your listings of recent blog posts, it will show it there. It will also frequently show it on third-party websites. So like if you link to this page on Facebook, it will show this image next to the title in Facebook. Excuse me. Some messaging services do that as well. Instagram is more likely to be the image that's chosen if somebody links that. So this image is likely to be seen a lot more than any other image on the page, which is why it's important. So for what I do for featured images is I tend to either shoot one myself, something that's relevant to this post, or go to Unsplash. Unsplash is the easiest thing. There's a number of free image services, Pixels, Unsplash, and we have a list to that on stpaulsfreeuniversity.com in our social media resources section. But I like Unsplash, so I'm going to go there. So Unsplash. Make sure you spell it correctly. I mess it up sometimes. There we go. So we're on the right Unsplash page. So now I'm going to go find something that is relevant to this article. So it was somewhat about sandwiches, so I'm going to type sandwich. And here's a bunch of sandwich pictures that we can choose and freely use. Now, what I recommend with featured images is it often doesn't look quite right, or it gets cropped weird if you have taller images versus wider. So choose a wide image. So let's say we like this one, that looks nice. To choose it or to download it, we want to click on the image itself. There are other ways to download it, but this is the way you want to do it. And then on the top right where it's green, don't click download free, click this downward arrow and then choose small. This gives us the right size image so that we can immediately upload it to your website without having to resize it, which makes it a lot more convenient. I'll probably do an article on how to resize images because there are times when you will want to do that, but for this we don't need to, so it saves a little bit of time. So this is downloaded to my downloads folder. Also on Firefox you can see it's got a little listing for that file that I just downloaded here. So that makes it nice and easy. So we'll close Unsplash. We don't need any of these other pages actually. Just go back to our blog post and click on the featured image here on the bottom right, set featured image. This is the same thing as before. So if you had an image already that you want to use, you could choose one of them here. Now I don't recommend you reuse featured images. It's better if you use a different image for each blog post if you can. So we're going to do that here. Click upload files again, and then I'm going to choose this download and drag and drop it over there. Perfect. So it uploaded it. I'll choose a alt text. I'll just put sandwich, but it should probably be longer than that. Set featured image, and there we go. There's our featured image. So the blog post is now ready to publish. One last time, you could do a quick preview if you want, and you can see the featured image there. Make sure everything looks nice. Good. I like it. Close that. Now, if you want it to go live immediately to where everybody in the world can see it, hit publish. And that's what you're probably going to do most of the time. Now, if you're trying to do a blog a day, you're working our system, and you are writing ahead and you want to have something automatically get published for you the next day, that's easy enough to do too. You just go to publish immediately here, and next to that, click edit. This lets you choose the date. So it automatically chose sometime tomorrow morning. So today's the 16th, so it chose the 17th. Let's say, I already wrote one tomorrow morning, maybe I want the 18th. Perfect. Then you can choose the time. Time I don't think personally really matters that much, but let's say I want to do like, 4 or something, 4:30. Perfect, 4:30. Good, so then here I would click OK and then hit publish, or it will actually change it to schedule, and then that in the same spot where it says publish here, but just click this blue button and it'll be ready to go and automatically become live at the time that you set. But for this example, I'm just going to hit cancel on that and hit publish so we can see what happens right now. There we go. So reloaded the page, and we can see on the top here, right under edit post, it says post published. Perfect. So now the post is live and it's on the website. To view it, we can click view post, and here it is. Here's the new post. So you can link to it on your Facebook, or you can do whatever you need to do. And if we go back to the home page of the public version of the website, you'll see this home page is just the blog roll, but we can see here's our Hello World post that came with it, and here's the post that we just made. So that is how you make a post on a WordPress website.